She's beauty and she's grace. She's Miss Slam Pig United States. Now wait a damn minute. Did you all peep episode 9 of the Real Housewives of Rhode Island? Because my plugged in friends, we need to talk. I'm Nicci Noir, the plug, the decoder, and your favorite professional side-eyer. This is Side Eye and Sip, where we take a look, we read between the lines, and baby, we unpack the mess. And this entire episode can be summed up in one sentence. Kelsey fumbled the bag so hard, she turned a haircut into a civil war. Now remember, you were supposed to go over there, do Rosie's hair, collect your bag, and leave. That was the assignment, Kelsey. Not pull up to an 8,000 square foot house with a bullhorn like you're the mayor of Pettyville. A quick disclaimer, this is side eye commentary, and it's for entertainment purposes only. All opinions and observations expressed are mine, and they are based on publicly available content and alleged events. I do not personally know any of the individuals discussed. I'm simply observing and giving the situation the side eye it rightly deserves. Please do not use my content to attack or harass anyone. And remember, don't come for me unless I send for you.
Stream the vibes, speed down to the code, they stay.
House please. Rosie, what? This is the house please. No buyers on the property. Suspect says 8,000 square feet. Or 2,000 inches.
Are we arriving to a hair appointment like we're serving a search warrant? So according to Kelsey, Rosie lost her mind. But what Kelsey conveniently left out when she called Liz was the fact that she showed up screaming through the woman's neighborhood on a damn bullhorn. And apparently there's a no bullhorn ordinance in that neighborhood, which tells me this ain't the first time a fool tried it. So now Kelsey is on the phone spinning stories faster than a ceiling fan, claiming Rosie told her she slept with all these men in Rhode Island. Then we hear about basketball coaches, NDAs, married men, secret payouts, alleged affairs, real estate transactions. Baby, we went from a haircut appointment to a Dateline special in 3 minutes. And my question is, when exactly did this conversation happen? And because from what we saw, Rosie was too busy throwing you out of her house on your ass. You didn't even have time to put your keys in park. And Kelsey, if Rosie allegedly got a house out of all these stories, she got a house to show for it. All you got is an apartment the size of your old walk-in closet inside that 16,000 square foot mansion with a maid that you no longer have access to. So are you pulling the seeds out of your lemons? That's really all I want to know at this time. Now, hey, I'm just unpacking the mess. Don't shoot the professional side-eyer. Now, Liz on the other end of the phone is completely speechless, which is rare for Liz because Liz always got something to say. Then Kelsey says she should send Rosie a Venmo for the gas it took to drive over there. Now hold up, sis. You were the one who turned a whole appointment into a WWE Monday Night Raw SmackDown. At this point, you owe everybody gas money, including we the viewers. Now, meanwhile, Ashley and Jared are shopping for trivia night. They need a buzz for Audrey's. They need people to come, to patronize, to sit, to sip lattes. So he won't have to continue fidgeting with that damn machine, because you know everything inside that coffee shop needs to be fixed. The ice machine, the latte machine, it's nice to get coffee, to get pastries. So then Rosie calls her, and baby, peace left the chat. Ashley's like, what's going on? Rosie's like, Kelsey was just here with a bullhorn, house police, sirens, weird energy. So Rosie is like, yeah, that was not funny to me. Ashley was like, yeah, I kind of see what the problem is. So Kelsey keeps saying everything is a joke, but the person receiving the joke is not laughing. That's That's called an insult with sound effects, with loud ass sound effects, cackling, all the things. Now Jared is stressed. Rosie is done, and now Ashley has to figure out who to invite because Rosie said, hey, I know you invited all the girls out to trivia night, but if Kelsey's gonna be there, I ain't gonna be there. If she's there, I'm not there.
When you ask me to hang, the very first thing I'm gonna say is, who all gonna be there? You say one wrong name and I'm not coming. I'm not coming. I'm not hanging with nobody I can't be myself around. I'm not hanging with nobody that's a mean girl.
Don't call me. It's just like, who all coming? If she gonna be there, I'm not gonna be there. So baby, Rosie gives her an ultimatum. That's a weather forecast. I'm just letting you know what conditions are to be expected. Then we get to Rulala, and Lord have mercy. Rula is still on her mission to make JoEllen the villain of Rhode Island. She and Alicia are walking on the beach when they just so happen to run into JoEllen's former friend Amanda, who is also JoEllen's neighbor. Now, maybe this was a coincidence, or maybe this was a scheme.
A scheme that Todd set up for him to come to you with the bush.
Scheme that Todd and Rula set up to come at us with the bullshit, because I was like, who is this lady and why is it all of a sudden that she has issues with JoEllen, and now Rula has to show Alicia, hey, I'm not the only person who has issues with JoEllen. It's like whenever Rula talks about JoEllen, I get this song in my head. Everybody hates JoEllen, but that is not the case. Rula, I'm sorry. What is Rula giving other than a bomb-ass storyline? But whenever Rula herself is partaking in a scene, I'm sorry, it's boring. Rula is not bringing anything. Brian is bringing more to the franchise than Rula. I'd rather see Brian on camera at this point because Rula is giving us nothing. Every time I see her, I want to perform CPR. I want to resuscitate her because it's giving nothing. It's boring. And Brian is Rula's storyline, and we thank you, Brian. The people, enough content to continue on talking about your wife because she is not bringing it. Rula is not clocking in, and I'm not sure why Andy and the producers are allowing her to just really not film, and when she does, it's so boring, and she continues to talk about JoEllen, not talking about the fact that her husband is playing in her face and that she is trying to find the zen within, and she's boring. I'm sorry, Rula at this point, it's like I'd much rather just see Brian tiptoeing around Rhode Island with his mistress and with Amanda. It felt interesting. Rula wants everybody to know that JoEllen is a pot stirrer. The pot JoEllen stirred was the one telling you that your husband was out here acting a whole ass fool like he is not married. It's called presenting evidence. Rula says JoEllen is dimming her light. Now, Rula, your husband, the squirrely cheater, dimmed your light. JoEllen just turned on the flashlight, and she brought the light to your situation, which you really don't want to see. So then we get into Alicia's finances while she and Rula are still talking. The conversation transitions into her and Brian and what they have going on. So Alicia admits she doesn't feel financially secure enough to walk away from her engagement. She feels that Brian holds all the money. So this is a conversation a lot of women can understand. So Rula encourages her to get involved, more involved in Pizza Mama. Pretty much give Brian an ultimatum. Give me stake within this company because I am the one who gave you the idea I'm the one that gave you the idea for this niche pizzeria, which is gaining popularity within the city. So I want a piece of the pie, damn it. And that's one of the things I have to say. At least Rula is a financial consultant, so she was able to advise Alicia on how to make moves to talk to Brian for him to take her seriously and to give her vested interest within Pizza Mama, which she does present her case to him. And it was a very laid out, thoughtful plan. So Rula, we definitely want to thank you for that advice. That was the best advice that we got all night. Then we get to the most awkward dinner since the Last Supper. JoEllen, Gary, Liz, Jerry, Kelsey, and Brian, or as I like to call him, the man currently auditioning for a role that's already occupied by Kelsey's ex checkbook. Now, these couples are sitting at the table. They are discussing how Kelsey's ex is still paying her rent, her insurance, her life, her existence, her atmosphere. Everything except her Wi-Fi password. And baby, this is where things just get really weird. The table is confused. Then JoEllen asks Bill how he feels about Kelsey's ex. Then JoEllen asks Bill how he feels about another man paying for his woman's livelihood. So you could practically see Bill's soul leaving his body because he knows he's competing against a man who's funding the entire relationship. Kelsey says she doesn't want to be homeless like Alicia. So this whole conversation just exploded. The record scratched. Everybody stopped what they were doing. The food stopped. Forks dropped. Chewing stopped. The air stopped airing. And Liz, of course, had to open her mouth and immediately, hold up. That's not what happened. Alicia has never been homeless, because apparently Alicia wasn't homeless. She moved in with her grandmother. Now, we all know that Alicia revealed that her father left her and her mother due to his infidelity when she was 16. Alicia says that man took the home and he kept running. So Alicia says she and her mom had to fend for themselves, meaning they had to move in with different family members. Now, in my opinion, Alicia says she was living in her grandmother's basement at one point. So in my opinion, I'm thinking that is kind of homeless. Alicia does not have a home if she's sleeping in her grandmother's basement. It doesn't mean that she did not go without a roof over her head, but to have a home to call her own, to have a bedroom, she was in the basement. But Liz is forgetting the fact that this is Alicia's story. This is not Liz's story to tell. Liz is very protective of Alicia's family. She says Alicia comes from a big, beautiful family and she wants to defend the family. She doesn't want Alicia's family looking bad. But Liz, this isn't your place to sit and try to rewrite Alicia's story. You did not walk in Alicia's shoes. You were not sleeping in the basement that Alicia was sleeping in with her mother. So that is the whole breaking point between Liz and Alicia, who grew up as friends. Liz feels like because she knows Alicia and her family that she knows the entire story and she wants to save face for Alicia's family. Oh, they're a big, beautiful family. There's no way anyone would have allowed Alicia and her mother to be homeless. Liz, we understand that, but what we're asking for is to give your homegirl some empathy, because this is a touchy subject for Alicia. The moment Alicia starts talking about her childhood trauma that she faced, being abandoned, this is why she has never married Bill, because she feels like the moment she relaxes in a relationship, now mind you, she's been with this man for 9 years, but she feels the moment that she relaxes in this relationship that he is going to pull the wool from over her eyes and upend her and walk away and leave her and her daughter with nothing. So it's very much understandable as to why Alicia feels the way that she does. And Liz, if you're supposed to be a friend, you're not supposed to be bad-mouthing her at the table and downplaying her situation. Now, JoEllen looked to Gary because Gary also grew up with Alicia, and he's saying that his mom and Alicia's mom were teens together. They were best friends, and he does not recall her being homeless, but he didn't really go in the way that Liz was going in, making it a big deal, making it seem like Alicia's out here being Paul Bunyan, throwing out tall tales to make the people feel sorry for her. So again, Liz, it's not your story to tell, and you really need to fall back with the self-righteous attitude like you know Alicia and her story. Granted, you were friends, but you wasn't sleeping in the basement with her. And why your family didn't extend, why y'all didn't buy Alicia and her mama house, since you know so much about Alicia and everything that she has gone through. It's just giving, Liz, you're trying to be the big bad wolf, and it looks like you're turning into the villain. JoEllen started off being the villain, but the tables and the tides are slowly turning, and I'm starting to side-eye you, Liz, because you're giving big bad wolf. You're giving that you want to run the girls and you want to run the narrative within this friend group. I see you. I'm unpacking your mess, Liz. I'm unpacking it. So Liz's little smart comment, it comes back to bite her in the ass later. Now let's move on to trivia night. Jared is trying to host. Ashley is trying not to cry. Rosie is trying to avoid Kelsey, and Kelsey arrives wearing her sash and her crown. She's beauty, she's grace, she's Miss Slam Pig United States. When I say this was probably one of the most hilarious scenes in this episode, because Kelsey is Miss Petty. She is petty. So Kelsey arrives with this crown and this sash, and I wish I was lying, but I'm not. Though this woman has taken this insult into a whole new pageant title. Ashley looked like she was ready to hit the floor. Rosie looked ready to commit a felony. And Jared was just trying to ask questions about Toy Story. Kelsey starts taunting Rosie. Rosie says, "Leave me alone." Nobody listens. Rosie starts going in on the clique, and she lets everybody have it. She said, "The clique is clicking. It's time for the clique to stop clicking." Rosie's upset because she feels like the group has given Kelsey carte blanche to hone in on her and to attack her. And now Rosie is like, "It's up and it's stuck. Every time I see you, it's up. We are not going to be civil at this point any longer. You are a bully, and I'm calling you on your bullshit whenever I see you." So what's happening is that the ladies are trying to navigate the whole Kelsey and Rosie situation. And as they're trying to navigate things, we already know that Liz is on Kelsey's side. So Liz is trying to ask Rosie like probing questions. Didn't you feel a little good like kicking her out of your house and causing that situation to escalate even further? And Rosie's like, "Yeah, for a little bit, but this was not a joke. This woman came into my home. She was supposed to get I was supposed to get a haircut. I was supposed to patronize her business. Instead, she turned this situation into what she's calling a joke, and she was trying to be funny, and it was not funny." So as Rosie is trying to explain, Liz is trying to overtalk her, and JoEllen is like, "Wait a minute, let's have Rosie talk." So this is where we see the tide turning in JoEllen and Liz's alliance, because after this blow up between Kelsey and Rosie called JoEllen of all people and explained what had happened about her throwing Kelsey out of her damn house. So Liz is feeling that JoEllen is like a banana peel. She calls her flip-flop because she's wondering, why in the hell would you of all people take Rosie's phone call, listen to her talk about Kelsey and this whole situation? Why are you on her side at the moment? So then we see the tension happening between Liz and JoEllen, because listen to what she's saying. "I'm gonna need you not to interrupt." So she and Liz have a back and forth moment, which I'm like, this is interesting. So it's like the two alphas in the group are starting to butt heads. JoEllen wants to play peacemaker at this point, and Liz is like, "You ain't no peacemaker. You don't even like Rosie. So why are you taking up for her?" The ladies are all over talking each other. No one's listening to nobody. Everybody ends up at the same table at this point because Ashley tried to separate everybody. Bad idea. So they're listening to Kelsey and Rosie. So Rosie's explaining she's felt disrespected. JoEllen keeps insisting Kelsey was joking. And Rosie is saying it wasn't funny. And honestly, that's the entire issue. You don't get to decide how someone else receives your joke, your badass behavior. If they tell you it hurt them, listen and correct the behavior. That's the end of the discussion. But Kelsey refuses to apologize, and Rosie refuses to back down. The clique needs to stop clicking. Ashley starts crying again. Ashley. Jared is still trying to host trivia. When I say this scene was a ghetto hot mess, and I am here for it. I'm here for it. The Titanic had better organization than this event. Then we check in with Alicia and Billy. And baby, this was giving, Alicia clocked in. So she pulled out a whole presentation board, the PowerPoint. She pulled it out, not a notebook. She said, "Listen, I am the brains behind Pizza Mama, so I'm going to show you what I have to offer." So she presented this whole situation like a science fair project. Billy, she wants a claim a stake in Pizza Mama. She wants ownership. She wants compensation. She put the battery in your back. So most importantly, she does not want her or her daughter she does not want her baby girl to believe that she needs to depend on a man to make money. That part, it really hit. Billy was a little hesitant at first, but he eventually agreed that Alicia has been the battery in his back and she deserves to be compensated. And honestly, that was good for her. That was growth. And it was good to see Alicia do anything besides eat on a damn cracker and be nervous. Now let's get into this van ride from hell. The ladies are going to Rosie's husband, Rich's Frank Sinatra show. And this is where we get into the whole homeless comment between Liz and Alicia. So Liz, Alicia, and JoEllen are inside a Sprinter van and they are headed to Boston to go watch Rich perform. And we say TNT, the explosion exploded. Alicia explains that losing her home and having to move into her grandmother's basement felt like homelessness to her. She had to move from her home into a basement. Liz gets stuck on the definition of what being homeless in America is. Alicia is talking about the experience. Liz is talking about semantics, and they keep missing each other's point. Alicia is hurt. Liz feels misunderstood. Meanwhile, JoEllen is playing referee peacemaker. She knows that these two love each other. Somehow Liz brings Gary's name into the conversation. Fingers start pointing, voices start rising, and by the end of it, Alicia is done. Alicia goes off for the second time. She is completely done. She tells Liz she has shown her true colors. Liz insists she never meant to invalidate her feelings. But Liz, you did. You came off like you was trying to be a bully. But the damage is already done. And that's where we leave off. So my final thoughts about this episode. Kelsey, you fumbled the bag. You truly fumbled the bag trying to be funny, and you know you need money. You were supposed to do Rosie's hair, get to the money, go home, let her promote your business by showing her followers. Instead, you showed up like a petty superhero with a bullhorn. Rosie has finally reached her limit with you. Ashley, you need a vacation. Jared deserves hazard pay for hosting these crazy ass ladies. Rula is still monotonic. JoEllen is still playing Switzerland, although she and Liz are button heads. Liz needs to stop arguing about people's feelings and let them be. And let them be who they are. And you stop trying to rewrite people's story and trying to put them on Front Street. And Alicia might have had the most genuine moments of the episode. But but plugged in friends, what do y'all think? Was Kelsey trying to be funny, or was she absolutely looking for a problem? Was she looking for a problem? I think Kelsey was looking for a problem. Get with me in these comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to join the Plugged In family. Until next time, my Plugged In friends, I'm Nicci Noir, and baby, this has been Side Eye and Sip. She's beauty, she's grace, she's Miss Slam Pig, United States.
We're the pulse of the scene, a slow burning smile, plugged in and pristine, the end with the vibe.